That's right. It's what I feel like on a Wednesday. Let's do this thing. Unlike some rock music, perfectly with the conversation about the Denver Broncos. How can they slow down? Notice that title, everybody. I did not say how can they stop the Miami Dolphins. I think only the Dolphins can stop themselves, honestly. We'll get into all of that and more right here on today's program. That is correct. It is Orange and Blue today. I am your host, Cecil Lammey, and we are talking Denver Broncos with you. Andrew Mason is on assignment. He's still at the facility, so I'm going to go solo on today's program, and we're going to talk some Broncos and how do they slow down the Miami Dolphins. This is going to be very key. Had a chance to catch up with Josie Jewell, talk to Mike McGlinchey, talk to Marvin Mims in the locker room today. So lots to get to on today's program, but I want to start with that Marvin Mims discussion because I think part of the way that you slow down Miami is that you utilize the youth on this team, something that we saw glimpses of. I was so happy in the game against the Commanders because we saw glimpses that, hey, the kids are all right? Jaleel McLaughlin, 1 carry, and it was a touchdown. Marvin Mims, 2 catches, over 100 yards, and a touchdown. And why you didn't go back to it more, why you didn't trust the kids more, I have no idea what was going on in Sean Payton's head. And I think now 0-2, 0-2 at home, by the way, you're on the road, you're facing a tough team, you've got to go to your playmakers. And God bless America, we all love Cortland Sutton. He's not making plays, okay? That's the bottom line. And even the last one, the 2-point conversion, should have been a flag. Yes, of course. But if you're Cortland Sutton, why aren't you mossing people? That's Benjamin St. Juste. That's a young player in the secondary for the Commanders. Like, yeah, go moss that guy. You're better than him. We're not seeing it. So not to go Dr. Phil and Barnyard Psychologist on you, but how's that working out? Hey, you're featuring Cortland Sutton and Adam Troutman. How's that working out? Why don't you go with the kids? Why don't you go with the guys that can make the plays that we've seen? I'm giving Jerry Jeudy a pass. I've mentioned it on this show, on the postgame show. It's his first game back. I'm not really going to blast Jerry Jeudy because he didn't do much against the Commanders. Now he needs to do something this week. But I really think the kids need to be featured in this offense, and Marvin Mims especially. I had to ask him about Tyreek Hill. And we'll have the video clips and all that for you later on today. Our socials, Denver Sports Com. Make sure to follow us there on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, 1043 The Fan. But Mims is like that version that take the top off the guy. He's not Tyreek Hill. Nobody say that. I don't want the chat room saying, Cecil said he was Tyreek Hill. No, I didn't. I said he was Emmanuel Sanders. I'm going to stick by that. And as I said on Twitter during the game, I'm like, I'm accepting apologies right now for everyone who doubted that he could be Emmanuel Sanders like. That is right there for Marvin Mims. So you may have thought, based on the title of this show, I was going to go with Broncos defense. And I'm going to get there in a little bit, including the second segment you'll see. I was waiting to talk to Riley Moss today. I wasn't able to do it. Didn't see him in the locker room before I had to leave to get here to the studio and do this show. That's in a little bit. But how do you slow down the Dolphins? Sustained success. Always got to slow down when you say that, Matthew. Sustained success for the Denver Broncos. And how do you do that? The playmakers, the guys that can move the chains. And if that's Jerry Jeudy, then so be it. More of 10 targets for Jerry. Do I get a 12? Right? Is this Price is Right? Can I bid $1? Like, yes, more for Jerry Jeudy. If he's moving the chains and if it's working, Anakin, it's working, then you keep doing that. Marvin Mims, it was working. You see him make plays. Does he know the full playbook? Unlikely. He's a rookie. It's a very complex system. Does he, forget to run on the field at times in certain packages? Yes, we actually saw that against the Commanders. I don't give a damn. I don't care about any of that. I know that Marvin Mims, when you need to be explosive, explosivo is what I put out on Twitter after his big touchdown. It's like, that's the type of guy that can take the top off the defense. You've got to feature him. You got to go for it with a Marvin Mims. So Youth gone wild? Yeah, I think it should. And it should be more than just a half, Eddie. It should be for the entire game. You're using Mims as a featured receiver. I said it, even though he was banged up during, mandatory minicamp and during OTAs after rookie minicamp, and he had some hamstring issues heading into training camp. With Marvin Mims, I suggested that he might be the best receiver on this team. I could make that argument. I don't think he is yet. But man, you're 0-2. You got to accelerate that. You got to find out, is Marvin Mims your best receiver? I think the answer might be yes. And not the best receiver in a year when Sutton's not here and Patrick's not here and Judy's not here. Marvin Mims might be your best receiver right now, today, September 20th, 2023. So use the kid, utilize him, go for it like you did for a little bit against the Commanders. And that's where the frustration comes in, because Sean Payton's smart. He's forgotten more about football than almost all of us. Like, why did he go away from the kids? I know he maybe can't do everything or whatever, but you look back at that big play, the Marvin Mims touchdown. 1, it's a run play. 2, it's a check. 3, it's a 2-man route. Marvin Mims, it's 5-on-2. Marvin Mims got open on a 2-man max protect route. Are you flipping kidding me? Like, think of what you can do when you're spread out a little bit more and you've got more people taking the attention of the defense. Like, it was max protect. Russell Wilson made the right check. He gets out of the run play and he goes to a play that was max protect 2-man route, and Mims won. He won. It was perfect, a great design, a great setup from one Sean Payton. Now stick with it. The stick-to-itiveness with these young players, I think it's what Sean Payton needs to show, and he didn't show that, the stick-to-itiveness, against the Commanders, although we did see the big plays. You're facing an offense. We're going to watch Jalen Waddle. That's a conversation as the week goes on. Jalen Waddle's in the concussion protocol. We'll see what happens there. But you have Tyreek Hill, even though they don't even really use him, but Devon A-Chain is there, rookie running back that's fantastic, speed weapon, Raheem Mostert speed weapon. If Waddle plays, now you got Waddle and Tyreek Hill, like, you've got problems. Braxton Berrios is a problem. Remember him at the Senior Bowl? I was like, wow, if the Broncos ever wanted a slot receiver, they could get him. Well, you've got more than just a slot receiver and more than just a rookie receiver in Marvin Mims. Should Marvin Mims be the number one receiver going forward for this Broncos team? I think the answer is yes. You agree, you disagree, let me know in the chat room. Let me know in the comments below. It is Orange and Blue today, and we are presented by Sean Pond. Again, Andrew Mason is at the facility right now. And on Wednesday, we had to make a choice of, like, do we start the show really late and both of us get here, or do I just go solo and then Mace will, have more time? We got to have more time. Sean Payton was a little bit on time today, so that helped our schedule. But things have been delayed, nothing but delays out at Centura Health Training Center. Did they change the name yet again? Because Centura's changed it. Anyway, you're not here for that. You're here to talk about the Denver Broncos or listen about the Denver Broncos. Maybe you're talking to your monitor. I don't know. If so, good job. But youth gone wild. Jaleel McLaughlin, he needs to be utilized more. Samaje Perine is fine. As a veteran, you obviously trust him. You trust him on third downs. You trust him in the red zone. I believe Samaje Perine is, in a way, this team's red zone package includes a lot of Perine. That's me guessing. I'm not telling you anything that I can't say, but that's a guess. How about this guess? Jaleel McLaughlin would be better. And that's no slight at Samaje Perine, who's a fine veteran back. There is zero things wrong with Samaje Perine. He's a better receiver than he used to be coming out of college. He certainly is a power back that can smash the inside between the tackles in the box, so to speak. And, like, he's a guy you can go to. You trust him in pass protection, something that perhaps you do not trust yet Jaleel McLaughlin with. But McLaughlin, again, like Marvin Mims, can make plays. You need guys that can make plays. You need someone like Mims that can either take the top off the defense or turn a 3-yard route into an 80-yard touchdown. Jaleel McLaughlin, that toss play with Samaje, it goes for 2 yards. Maybe it goes for 7 yards, right? Wow, what a great play. But Samaje does not get plays over 15 yards, okay? And that's no slant on him. I'm not slamming the guy, but just over the course of his career, he's one of the league's lowest in terms of getting plays over 15 yards. It just doesn't happen. So let's max him out, right? Samaje had a toss play and went for 15 yards. What a play. Let's go Broncos. That's an 80-yard touchdown with Jaleel McLaughlin. That's the difference. The screen passes that this team couldn't stop last week, use screen passes with Jaleel McLaughlin. Like Samaje can do it, Javonte can do it. We're seeing a somewhat limited Javonte, which we'd expect. I mean, is he even going to be 100? He's never going to be 100%. That's silly. Well, by October, he'll be 100%. No one's ever 100%. It doesn't get better during the season, baby. It only gets worse. So you just try to manage it at his 90% level or whatever he's at. You manage it by using Jaleel McLaughlin more. Kids young, kids ready to go. I know he had 1 million carries in 5 years of college. Doesn't matter. Like, use him. Use what works. Do what works. Is the Mendoza line? What is it, Matthew? Where it's like the simplest answer is always just the straightest, like the straight line, like the shortest distance between 2 points is just the straight line. Like, yeah, sometimes the easiest answer is the best answer. And the easiest answer for this Broncos team is using Marvin Mims, using Jaleel McLaughlin. I am not saying go toe to toe, like tit for tat, score for score with the Miami Dolphins. You can't do that. You just can't. I would like to live in a world where that was possible, where it can be, 38-35, Broncos win, what a game. Like, I don't see that. But you certainly can't be kicking field goals. If you are having sustained success, again, slow down, sustained success, and you're kicking field goals, that's lousy. That's not going to work because the Dolphins are going to drive and they're going to score touchdowns. So you yourself have those long drives. Use time of possession as a weapon. Sometimes use tempo as a weapon. We'll get to that a little bit later. But, like, use the time of possession. Run the damn ball. I cannot believe this team got away from that. I know Sean Payton, offensive-minded coach, but how about a win-minded head coach? I would like that. And I think Sean Payton is that. And I think Sean Payton's probably, again, just guessing. And full disclosure, I don't go to the podium. I go into the locker room. I'm one of the first people in the locker room every day because the podium stuff, like, you may not get the answers that you want at the podium. In the locker room, you can talk to players, you can establish relationships. Like, you get a real football-y talk. The talk I had with Josie Jewell today was fantastic. Real X's and O's stuff, just super geeky stuff. And I loved it. I thought it was great. But how do you, slow down the Dolphins? Well, you slow them down because they're not going to have many possessions because you yourself are having long drives. You're having those possessions where you're using that time up and you're getting in the end zone and you use the kids, use Marvin Mims, use Jaleel McLaughlin. I'd throw Brandon Johnson in there as well. I think Brandon Johnson needs to have a larger role. And if that means less for Jerry Jeudy, okay. Again, I'm kind of in a wait and see with Jeudy. I'm not going to sit here and make any sort of final determination on Jerry Jeudy. Like, nah, he's hurt, whatever. I got to see him. We got to see him. Once we see him, we can make a determination on Jerry Jeudy. That last game, like, whatever, baby. I've seen enough of Cortland Sutton. I called him the steal of the draft. Never going to let him shy away from that. I love talking to Court. He's great in the locker room. He's a great young man, although he's an older man now, but he's been great for this team. Behind the scenes, good in the community, good-hearted person. I think that's really good about Cortland Sutton. But on the field is where it's got to get done. And it's just not. And I can't tell you why. He does look explosive. As I was telling someone earlier today, like, Cortland Sutton looks explosive until the game. So I don't know. Like, all I can tell you is what I'm seeing. Well, kind of. What I'm seeing is Cortland Sutton looks more explosive than he has the last 2-3 years, and it doesn't matter. So I can either sit here every day, like Vic Fangio, or and say, like, Sutton is the guy, he's the man, he's explosive. Or I can watch him be explosive. And I can watch him hey, Benjamin St. Juste was climbing all over his back, and he still got it because he mossed him. Not Riley Moss, that's in a little bit, but like he Randy Mossed him. He went up there and got it. Where's that Sutton? Where is that Sutton? He doesn't exist. So, as we said yesterday, quoting Kierkegaard, I believe 3 times, very educational show yesterday, Matthew, like, there's 2 ways to be fooled, either by listening to information that's not true or by denying what is true. There's 2 ways to be fooled. So you can go to coverage. It's like, everything's great and Sutton's great. And let's, Cortland Sutton. Or we can say, hey, Sutton's good. He looks like the injury is way past that, and it's just not happening. I wish it did. I wish it was, but it's just not happening. Maybe that turns around against Miami, maybe not, but I'm not sitting around waiting. You can't wait. You want to be 0-3, baby? You want to sit around well, we're just waiting on Sutton. I mean, he looks good in practice, right? Didn't we get that with Vance Joseph? Guys had a great week of practice. Weed of practice? Had a great week of practice. Like, no, you don't want that. Go with what works. I think that's Marvin Mims. I think that's Brandon Johnson. And if Jerry Jeudy can do it, fine. And if Jeudy can't do it, then get him out of here. Like, get rid of him. Like, I don't care. It's a results-based business. And being a fan is great. I honestly miss being a fan because you could just kind of get crazy and say crazy stuff because you're a fan, it's a fanatic. But as an analyst, I just want what works. And it's not working with Sutton. We'll wait to see on Jeudy. Doesn't really work with Adam Troutman, although he's kind of the best they've got at that position. Although I think little Jordan Humphrey could get some Greg Dulcich-like plays, could go to little Jordan Humphrey. That's a little bit of a deeper pull, but I know it works with Marvin Mims. We've seen it. I seen it. Like, we've seen it. I know it works with Julio McLaughlin. We've seen it. So let it work some more. How do the Broncos slow down the Dolphins? Orange and Blue today. We are presented by Sean Ponda, Cecil, Lammey flying solo here. And more Riley Moss. Is that the key? Justin Simmons, no practice today. I'm going to wait and see. Friday's the big day. It's Wednesday. It's a veteran day. It's also a rest day for a lot of players. So maybe it's something. Maybe it's nothing. Who knows? I'm not going to sit here and press the panic button, the jolly like candy button that is the panic button and say, it's Justin Simmons. Like, nah, I don't know, baby. Talk to me on Friday. Or better yet, I'll talk to you on Friday. Like, yeah, okay, we'll figure it out with Justin Simmons. But Riley Moss might be the answer. Obviously, they really love him. Trained a bunch of picks to get up and get Riley Moss in the draft. Speedy corner, rookie corner. Also got to play his way into football shape. I'm not saying he should start opposite Pat Surtain, but if we're talking a month from now, September 20th, if we're talking at Halloween and Riley Moss is the starter opposite of Surtain, I'm not going to be surprised at all whatsoever. Riley Moss is that guy. The team clearly loves him. Once Sean Payton can trust the rookies, like, you got to trust the rookies more. That's Mims. That's McLaughlin. It's Drew Sanders. More on him in a little bit. And that's Riley Moss. So could more Moss be the solution? And Moss has got that recovery speed. I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill. Nobody's Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's going to smoke this team. Okay? Again, I can lie to you. They're going to shut him down. I'm not Chuck D, although I do love Public Enemy, but like, Tyreek Hill's going to crush the Broncos. Okay? There's really not an answer for Tyreek Hill. There just isn't. And if they hold him under 100 yards, that's a win. If they hold him under 100, he could still get, 8 for 80 and 3 touchdowns. It could be a day like that. It doesn't have to be, 5 for 200 and 2 touchdowns. Like, no, but Tyreek Hill's going to get you. Maybe Riley Moss and having that package out there is part of the answer. Again, we're going to watch the Jalen Waddle situation as he's in the concussion protocol. But more Moss, please, if he's ready, and he's been close. Last week, he was close. Last week, I was able to catch up with him in the locker room. Didn't see him today. Doesn't mean I won't see him on Thursday or Friday. If I do, we'll bring the video to you right here on this show. It is Orange and Blue today, presented by Champ Honda. Stepping up. This is a game. We're going to get into it on tomorrow's show as well. You are facing a Mike Shanahan system. In fact, the Mike McDaniel system. I've known Mike since he was a teenager because he was a ball boy with the Broncos under Mike Shanahan. So I've known Mike for 20 years. He's running the Mike Shanahan system more so than even Kyle does. Kyle's kind of gone away from that. It's still Shanahan elements, obviously. Like a Sean McVay, right? The Shanahan elements. Any sort of LaFleur, or wherever the LaFleurs are, like, there's Shanahan offense, right? And Matt in Green Bay and Mike wherever he's at. I'm not thinking about that right now. But like Mike McDaniel, that is almost true to the letter Mike Shanahan offense. And I talked to Josie Jewell today, again, kind of geeking out on the X's and O's. It's like the window dressing of this team is there. They'll motion you. You all remember the Shanahan days. They were great. They're going to motion you. and get you flowing one way, and they're cut back the other way, and all of a sudden Raheem Mostert's going to be 80-yard touchdown, or Devon A-Chain, or whoever they got touching the rock. I mean, that's a big play offense. It's a big play just waiting to happen. That's what you see. Jewel also mentioned that. Like, they're a big play specialist. That's what they do. So discipline, very, very key. But stepping up are two players up front. I'm not sure if Vance Joseph blitzes as much. If he does, perhaps Alex Singleton comes off and Drew Sanders comes on. You saw Singleton with a dropped interception. Sanders probably would have caught that. You saw Singleton and Jewel both blitzing, not getting home. Perhaps Sanders gets home with those reps. So I'm not saying replace Singleton or Jewel as the starter. That's ridiculous. But I'm saying just more of Drew Sanders in the mix. I think that's good. But the two players to step up, and you're not going to be happy with this because you paid him a bunch of money. Zach Allen, where you at, man? Where you at? Zach Allen, step it up. Like, this team needs Zach Allen to be J.J. Watt. Not the guy opposite J.J. Watt who got paid because you didn't want to pay Draymond Jones. He needs to be that level of player. He's handsomely compensated. There is no reason for Zach Allen to be struggling as much as he has over the course of 2 weeks. He's almost there. He's almost there. He leads the league in almost sacks. Well, that doesn't matter, baby. Close only counts, and horseshoes and hand grenades, and this is neither one of those. It's football. He needs to step it up. DJ Jones, handsomely paid, needs to step it up. Like, you have to have middle pressure, especially if you're going to blitz less. The lack of middle pressure, the lack of pressure from just 4 is what's crushing this secondary. You know who wants the front 4 to play better? Damari Mathis. So he doesn't get waxed back there. Like, he's been getting burned left and right. Commanders was a little bit less, but still, like, you want to help out Damari Mathis? Hey, maybe your secondary is down Justin Simmons, again, for just Friday, baby, Friday. But, like, now you've got secondary issues, and here's more Delarian Turner-Yell. Hey, you want to help those guys out? Get middle pressure. Makes every quarterback look mortal, and they're just not doing that. So, and I think Alex Singleton had an unusually poor game. Not just the drop pick, but the out of position on screen pass. Like, there's some plays with Singleton. It's like, that's a seasoned veteran. I really like him. He's got great hair. I've actually talked to him about hair tips. He doesn't do anything. I think he just head and shoulders, baby, like unpaid endorsement. But like, because I was like, you putting in minerals or whatever? And he's like, no. And his flow is down like the middle of his back. I think his hair's longer than Romy Beans. So like, he's got long hair. But anyway, so Alex Singleton, great guy. I love him. Really solid pro, solid starter. Not a good game against Washington. Jonathan Harris, not a good game against Washington. Zach Allen, not a good game against Washington. DJ Jones, not a good game against Washington. You can't have that. Y'all wanted to blame Vance Joseph, and I'm not going to just sit here and just blindly defend VJ. It's totally Vance Joseph's fault. But you know what? VJ is not putting a helmet on. VJ's not out there running around missing tackles. Like, you guys got to make plays. And I'm looking at the high dollar guys, and I'm saying, it's time. It's past time. This team paid you. Now it's time to pay off with your productive play. Orange and Blue today, presented by Sean Ponda. Andrew Mason will be back on tomorrow's show. I am Cecil Lammey saying, thanks for watching, everybody. Do the YouTube things, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you never miss a vid, and help us grow the YouTube channel. You've really been doing it. I'm going to go do it. We've done it. Like, you guys are still doing it. Please. And if you've commented in the chat room of 100 and plus chats right now, please comment on the video down below. It helps the YouTube algorithm, our ever-present YouTube overlords. We praise you. So please help us. It helps us grow the channel. Watch the end of the video. I'll shut up here in just a little bit. Please shut up. It's Orange and Blue today, presented by Sean Ponda. How many movie references? Half a dozen, at least. Anyway, until next time, be safe, be kind, know that you are appreciated. Stay tuned, and would you please go ahead and stay frosty.